And right now, no participants, just us?
Nope, just, yep.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the Town of Swanton Special Select Board meeting of August 6th, 2025. It is 6 p.m. First thing we do, if you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Okay, agenda review. We'll start with Christina and work our way around the table.
I do not have anything except for we do not have a health officer report. I did not get one.
Okay? Kathy?
I'm good, thank you.
Nicole?
I'm good.
Earl?
I'm good.
Under highway, I'd like to just switch B and A around.
Yep.
Sure everyone's good with that?
I'm good.
Steve? Brian?
I had originally put contract negotiations for executive session. The executive session, now the law has changed, first of all. We have to kind of say more than just what it was for. This is a contract negotiation for the cleaning contract, but it's not ready yet. So we're still working on it before we can bring a proposal.
So we won't,
So we will not need an executive session tonight.
at least for that.
For that.
Okay, very good. All right, we'll start with the minutes. Regular select board meeting of June. Would that be Ju- oh, hang on.
That should be July
Yeah, what was the date in July on our minutes?
15th.
Should be right in front of us, right?
It'll say June here.
Doesn't- What's that?
It says June here, now that's a mistake.
Right, well, I'm looking on the minutes, I don't see a date.
Yeah, it was the third Tuesday, right?
July 15th.
Yep.
15th? Okay, so, regular select board meeting of 15 July 2025. Entertain a motion to approve. Second? Second. Motion been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved, you guys have it. Public comment. This is for public comment on something that is not part of the agenda. So we open up for public comment. We do have a second.
Could you ask them to state their name and turn their camera on?
Can you, right now it says Emily's iPhone. Can you please state your name and turn your camera on?
They can turn it back off and just have to go through more of that.
Sorry, Emily Ledoux.
Okay, that's good. We're good. Thank you.
Do I have to turn my camera on?
No, you're fine. You're fine, Emily.
Thanks.
Yep. Anything else under public comment? Okay, we'll start with law enforcement, Swanton Police. And before Officer Gagne starts, I just want to say publicly thank you for all his efforts putting together the National Night Out. Went and walked around a little bit in the park, and very well attended, and seemed like a very good event for Swanton. So thanks for all your efforts.
Pass those down.
What time of year do you start planning? Like tomorrow?
I try to start as early as I can, but usually ends up like early to middle of June by the time I get started.
Yeah.
Every year I tell myself I'll start earlier, and it just never works out that way.
Okay, your nickel.
All right, so this is our incidents for July. The top 10 incident types for July are 24 directed patrols. We had 13 traffic stops, 5 suspicious persons, 4 alarms, and then 3 for the following crashes: citizen assist, disorderly conduct noise, agency assist, say juvenile problems, and 2 for motor vehicle complaints. We did 4 additional service hours for the month of July. 85 incidents total, 13 traffic stops, which resulted in 6 tickets, 11 warnings. All tickets and warnings that were issued were associated with traffic. We had 4 arrests, so 4 individuals. 8 total charges, 2 of those were associated with traffic. The next 2 pages are just all the calls for the month. So yeah, tickets and warnings that were issued on the backside. A couple of those were, one of those traffic stops resulted in a arrest on a warrant, which also resulted in an additional charge of resisting arrest. Also cleared the DLS, so driver with a criminally suspended license on there as well.
Seems like a fair number of arrests being made because of traffic stops and
Yeah.
finding out that people
So-
are driving that shouldn't be.
Yeah, but that's one of the things too with traffic stops is, as officer dependent, but try to identify everybody in the vehicle. You never know what you're gonna come across, what a passenger may have. They're not obligated to identify themselves, but most of them will just give you their ID. So we had, let's say, just kind of got stapled together, but there's 3 arrests for in-state warrants, 1 resisting arrest charge, 1 driving on a criminally suspended license, 3rd or subsequent offense after 2 years, 1 violations conditions of release, 1 aggravated assault, and 1 charge for burglary. And there's a little pie chart on the page after that. Looks like top 10 incident types for additional hours, which were 2 agency assists, 1 community outreach, 1 motor vehicle complaint, and 1 trespassing complaint. Looks like we assisted, one of those was an assist with federal fish and wildlife suspicious vehicle. I think it was out at like the Max Bend area. But I think we assisted, it looks like one we assisted state police with like a rolling domestic. That vehicle stopped in the town, so they were close by to those Sunoco gas station. We assisted them with that.
Okay.
And then just a few updates kind of in the police department. Yeah, National Night Out was last night. We had a pretty significant turnout. I think it's probably the biggest turnout we've had in the 13 years that we've been doing it. I think part of that is also St. Albans didn't do theirs last night, so I think we kind of got some spillover into Swanton, which is okay. The more people, the better. We went through 300 hamburgers, 280 hot dogs that were donated between Hanford's and TDI that allow us to kind of give a meal to the public for free, as well as music. Every year I try to get as many vendors or local partners as I can get there. So I try to get that bigger every year, so hopefully next year will be bigger. Although I don't know how much more we can fit in the park, but I'll pack it if we can. So as far as that goes, we just recently acquired a new to us vehicle. We purchased it through a company in Chicago, so it's a cruiser from Florida, so it's clean, it doesn't have any rust or anything like that. Allows us to kind of save some money. Thankfully, we don't put a ton of miles on our vehicles, so we should be able to get quite a few years out of that. We're trying to keep up with an aging fleet right now. We have a couple cars that are one. The Swan Fire Department, I guess, is in work talks about purchasing. I think as like a non-emergency response vehicle, as well as probably getting officers to training. One of our other cruisers is just old and aging out, and a lot of our new Ford cruisers, we've had non-stop issues with them in the shop. So I think one, we're trying to get the Ford dealership to repair the transmission, or we might have to try to go out and model the vehicle, because it's every time we get it out, it's a month or 2 and it's back in the shop. So that's good for us. Hopefully we'll have that vehicle up and running on the road. I think right now we're just waiting for equipment to come in. We recently got audited by the Vermont Criminal Justice Council. It's kind of the spur of the moment audit for them. So they audited all of our 2024 training records, which went well for us. We do pretty good at training, like record management. So no issues there. One of our part-time officers, Kelly Badeau, just recently took a forensic interviewing class. So that's going to allow her to work for the Northern Unit for Special Investigations. So she'll start taking on more of the child abuse cases, child and adult sexual assault cases that we usually have to try to get Newsy to handle. They're short-staffed too, so some of the times, depending on the severity of the case, they'll kick that back to us. Now we have an officer who's trained in forensic interviewing to kind of take that. and there's $20,000 worth of grant money to help fund her time taking on those cases.
Excellent.
So that's gonna be a big help for us.
Would that be in addition to the time she's already doing?
Yeah, so Kelly Bedow's not a full-time
Right.
officer with us, so she picks up the shifts that are open or does traffic details. So this will be just an additional thing that she could take on. So if one of us, if we refer a case to Newsy and for whatever reason they don't take it but still requires more investigation, we can then kind of kick that case over to Kelly as almost like a detective position, but specific to Newsy cases. And her time will be funded by the state, so.
Okay.
We have one officer who's part-time right now, is currently field training. She's doing extremely well. Hopefully, she was full-time certified in Massachusetts, so hopefully once her field training process is done here, the state will allow her a waiver to become a level 3 officer like the rest of our full-time officers. We have one part-time officer who's full-time with liquor control right now, who just wants to do work part-time for us. We're just waiting on equipment, but he's pretty much a self-starter. He worked for Vermont State Police out of St. Albans Barracks, so he's really familiar with the area. It's just going to be getting him up to date on the way that we do our paperwork. So we have one candidate right now for a full-time position that we're working on scheduling interviews for, but we still have 2 full-time positions open.
That would take care of one of the 2.
That would take care of one of the 2,
Okay.
but we're talking sending them to the full-time academy for 17 weeks.
Oh, okay,
plus
so that's
field
still,
training.
yeah.
Yeah, he has no prior law enforcement experience, so you're talking anywhere from 7 to 10 months to get them through their training, through the academy, field training, and like on the road by themselves. So it's a time-consuming process. We would love to hire somebody who's already level 3 certified, but it's really difficult. Every agency's hiring out there, so you gotta be able to offer something or be a reason why they wanna come to your agency. But we're just not seeing a whole lot of applicants, which has also brought myself and Sergeant Bedeau to have a lot of conversations about heading to like local job fairs in the area to try to recruit. Most big agencies like Burlington and South Burlington have dedicated recruiting officers. We don't have that. We just don't have the staffing for it. So, but that's something that we're going to look into. So hopefully in the future we don't have an issue filling. We've had at least one of these full-time spots have been open for over a year.
Right.
But we haven't been able to fill it. So.
Yeah, making it kind of tough on everybody.
It is.
covering all the shifts.
We're making it work, but it's difficult. Yeah.
Who handles the recruitment now?
We don't have anybody handling really recruitment in and of itself. All of us try to recruit, kind of like on our own. People we know either from other agencies or just when we're out and about in the public, people come up and talk to us. But we don't have anybody dedicated. We don't have anybody going to job fairs right now. So that's hopefully the end of this year, starting next year, we're going to try to get to as many of those as we can. Because right now we're just kind of have an ad on the Criminal Justice Council website, but aside from that, there's not really a huge push for recruiting. So we're kind of game planning how we can better do that.
Just got a question.
Sure.
The 8 arrests that you made, were those local Swan people, or did you get some out of town?
I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe a few. The in-state, the arrest warrant guy, I don't know if he's currently living in Swanton, but I would say probably the majority of them are at least Franklin County residents, but yeah, most of them are locals.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
That's one small thing.
Sure.
When it comes to vendors for National Night Out, you want people emailing ahead?
Yeah, so I have a list of vendors that I put out there that I email every year. But yeah, people can email me. My email is kyle.gagne@vermont.gov. They can reach out to our Facebook page as well if they're vendors and they want to come. That way, I can see all of the messages we get on Facebook. So if they just send a message there with their email, I can at least add them to our list. So at the usually June. I go down my list and I send one email out to every vendor instead of like a mass email. But yeah, I'm always looking for new vendors and new people who want to come.
Anything else? All right, thank you very much,
Awesome.
Kyle.
Thank you. You guys have a great
Again,
Thank you.
great job last night.
Thank you.
Susie's on that. Calendar.
Susie Kelleher.
Okay, hi Susie.
Here I am.
You got any health officer information for us?
So basically all month, I've just been checking the cyanobacteria, in the public beach and, in the two, boat launch areas. There is a caution at McQuam Beach at this time. Other than that, everything looks good. And then the other thing that I was dealing with is a boil water, on Sunset Terrace.
Okay, and the result or the cause of that?
So I think about their pump house, and they were doing repairs yesterday, but the boiled water hasn't been lifted by the state of Vermont yet, so I'm waiting for an email from them to lift the boiled water restriction.
Okay.
Suzie, have you done any tests in the Cisco Bay area?
No, I haven't. The cyanobacteria is mostly on the lake, so they want us to keep an eye on the public access areas. So I found small quantities on McQuam Beach, but there are none at the boat launch or the boat launch on Hog Island on either side.
Okay, so that is Missisquoi then. Part of the bay then.
Well, so I think like when you say the bay, I think more like Alex Campbell's area, Campbell Bay area. That's the closest to Campbell's Bay, and since that's a private area, I am not in charge of keeping track of their cyanobacteria. However, I did stop and speak to Mr. Campbell earlier last month. And he said that they do keep an eye on it, and normally because of where they're located, they don't have a lot of it. And it's this, I did stop in and talk to the owners of Lakewood, and they said the same thing. They don't have a lot of cyanobacteria in their area either.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else for Suzie, folks?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Suzie. Next item of business is gonna be Maple Grove Estates regarding the road takeover by the town. I see a lot of people here who probably want to speak right now. First, we're gonna establish who owns the road right now.
My husband, Edward Heyman, I'll be speaking for him. He cannot speak tonight,
Okay?
due to health
So-
issues.
So we'll start with that part of it,
Okay.
and then we'll see how far we go.
Okay.
We have a road takeover policy, and then as part of a discussion up there, we had some borings taken, not by us, but by you.
Mhm.
And the borings came back, and there are many areas in the borings that aren't even close.
Not many,
Excuse me,
sorry.
okay? I'm talking right now, and I can see where this is gonna go really quick.
Mhm.
And we will stop the discussion and we'll move on to something else for the meeting. Okay? Is that clear?
I hear you.
Okay. So there's areas, the pavement itself, it doesn't have 1.5 inches over the top of it. It's only 2.5 inches throughout. Maybe the workhorse was never put on, don't know, but that's what the borings come back and tell us. Some areas only have 9 inches of subbase when we want 18. One has 14. One has just 6.5 inches. One has 8.5 inches. One has 8 inches. One has 15, and one has 13. So it is quite clear by the borings that were taken that this road does not meet the standards we require for a road and for us to take over a road. So, I don't know if the board members have anything they want to add to that right now. But I don't see us with some areas only having 6.5 inches of base material taking that road over. There's 5 people here, 3 vote take it over, we take it over. But that is way less than what is required. And whoever installed the road was not consistent at all with how they put the material in there. So, if you'd like to speak now,
Can I speak now?
yes.
Okay. My husband, okay, started a development called Maple Grove Estates, okay? In 2002. You took over the first portion of his road. He paved he paved 2 layers. He brought it to state standards, A76. State permitting, state everything, okay? Put 2 coats on that. Town of Swanton hasn't touched that road in over 20 years. We put the second coat and did the exact same design, which we have proof of, okay, on the second portion. Okay, that road is in great standards. You were at our development, Mr. Clark, and you said this road looks great, okay? Okay, let me continue. Okay, that first portion of that road hasn't been touched by you guys other than a little patching at the bottom of Route 7. Into over 20 years. We're ready. We have pavers coming in to do the second portion that we did the exact same thing on. And the town of Swanton has procrastinated for over 13 years because he wanted you to take it over, but you needed a truck. You weren't ready. Town of Swanton, not you personally, but the town of Swanton promised my husband verbally, if he did the exact same thing in phase 1 and then phase 2, you would take the road over. Not you, but the town of Swanton. So if a town isn't good at their word, why would my husband spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on phase 1, okay? And spend hundreds of thousands on phase 2? Just so when he gets to the end because of Act 250 and we had to wait so many years to finish the development, okay? And all along he said, I want to pave it, will you take it over? The town of Swanton turned him down. He's told all these people standing behind me. My husband is a very reputable man. He does stand here today with dementia and cancer. He's at the end of his game and he's retired now, okay? I don't want a stain on my husband's reputation. He's been a builder, a contractor, and I can stand here crying. I will not allow the town of Swanton to put a stain on him because you guys waited 13 years, and as you well know, whether it be Route 7, Kellogg Road, I don't even know, Route 7, any road, they're gonna settle after 13 years when you guys have procrastinated in taking over his road. He's begged you to take this road over, and you told him verbally, if it's A76 standards, which I stand here today with a letter from Chad Brandon that brought it to A76. And we spent thousands of dollars with the state of Vermont. Permitting, storm ponds, you name it. Do you think if he thought that you wouldn't take his road over at the end of his development, do you think he would have put hundreds of thousands of dollars into that road? You yourself walked that road and you knew it looked great. But 13 years will wear on a road. Sir, and I'm looking you straight in the eye. I'm telling you, what do you have to gain and what do you have to lose? I have all these people behind me that live there. And why is it fair that you took phase 1? Because I would consider that a grandfather clause. Because if phase 1, and you guarantee to take phase 2, and then when he finishes phase 2, you say, we're not taking over any more roads. And now you're gonna tell me because of a core test sample that you don't wanna take it over now for him after you let it sit for 13 years? Or the town of Swan, I don't mean to keep staring at you, but I'm trying to get this story out. My husband has done development upon development. He built Rockledge Estates on Kellogg Road.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we don't wanna get into
Now, let's
anything
stop.
other than.
You made your case,
Okay.
okay?
And
So,
what-
I saw the letter you're talking about. The engineer does not say it definitively meets. He uses the words appear and other words.
Have
He
you
didn't do
seen
it.
the
Yes,
letter?
I
he
saw,
sent me
I saw
today?
the letter.
No,
Okay.
no, I have a new letter.
But I'm gonna go back to the
He,
third, excuse me, it's my turn to talk now. I'm gonna go back to, you can talk about 13 years, it's not an issue of settlement. It's an issue of what was put in the ground. Yeah, the pavement looks good right now, But that doesn't mean that's gonna stay that way. There's a requirement, and this did not meet the requirement. It's that simple. Where is Pete Missouri right now to talk about it? He said it doesn't meet the requirement.
When is it my turn to speak? Can I speak now?
I asked you a question, yeah.
I have my letter from my engineer, Chad Brannon, who built the road, which I would like to give one to each of the board.
Okay, fine.
Okay? And what he states in this letter is, until the private part at the end, I only have 5, so I don't know if you want to share. And like he said, when it got to the end, if he wanted us to take a look at the other end, but he brought that to A76 standards with the state of Vermont, with all the permitting and everything else. He could not make it tonight, he had other things he had to do. He would hope that that letter would help in this. The private road, my husband and I, we just sold the last lot in there to a Mr. Pellerin, okay? Where the garage sits up there now on the curve. We were gonna live there forever, and in a perfect world, my husband wanted to be there to plow his own road at that other end and take care and maintain that end of that road. Okay, that didn't happen, but Chad Brandon brought phase 2 to its completion. And state of Vermont, we paid all our dues, but he's dotted his I's, he's crossed his T's. All you guys have to do is plow 2/3 of a mile up that road. It's not far. You don't need another truck. Heck, if you need the money, you guys, I could give you $10 to go the extra swoop. You know, we got pavers ready. We're gonna pave it for these people because Buddy promised them. Okay? And if you haven't touched the first part of the road in 20 years and done maintenance on it, with a new coat on this one, you probably won't touch it for 25 years. You know? Our storm ponds are up to date, they're accurate. What do you have to lose just to plow so these poor people can get their road plowed in the winter? The truck is already there. It's already there, guys. I mean, it's not rocket science.
All right, thank you. I see this letter, it does not, he even states he wasn't there to see the second part of the project.
You're losing me.
No, I'm just stating what this says right here.
Can I speak?
There are other phases of road construction that occurred after this, and I'm sure there's
Okay,
been wear and tear on the road over the past 12+ years. I'm talking right now.
sir.
I'm talking right now. So you've given us the letter, we've had a chance to look at it, and I'm gonna ask the board members if they have any comments right now. It's not just gonna be back and forth between you and me.
Well, I had a question, I know the reference to A76 standard, that's been around for a long time, is that the same as what, these tests show? For A76, are these standards different than A76? I don't know.
This test isn't a standard, this test is just showing what is there. If you wanna bring in what you hired somebody to do, right now I'm talking,
I'm not speaking.
okay? They can bring in and show us what they built it to, but you've got a variation from 14 inches to 9 inches to 6.5 to 8.5 to 8. It was not done consistently. That's just plain fact of what the cores show. And what you can see is along the center line is generally where it's thicker, and near the edge of the pavement is where they did not control as well what they did. Any other board members have any comments?
I just had a question, if it's okay.
Absolutely.
I think you mentioned that you've had some early agreements, maybe they were verbal or whatever, with previous select boards, and that would be very useful. Did they have minutes of those meetings, or?
They do.
Do you have them?
You should have.
Well, just, please,
But you do
I'm
have
asking a
them.
question, for Christ's sake.
every meeting we've ever come to in the last 20 years, whether it be with Joel or whoever on this board, previous boards, they promised him, if he brought the road to A76 standards, state approved, they would take the road over. Why would my husband, Mr. Bourgeois, why would my husband spend hundreds of thousands of dollars after dotting his i's and being a successful contractor his entire life? Why would he do any different from the first part of the road than the second? We didn't.
Okay,
We
but
did the same.
My question was, and I think you answered it, by Bud. Bud and I go back a long, long ways.
Mhm.
A good guy. My question was, is there evidence of the discussions and decisions that took place? And you said, yes, there are, and they would be in our minutes of our previous meetings?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted, thanks.
I mean, if I need to come here every single day for the next 6 months to prove that, I've been at meetings with my husband when they verbally stated it, whether it be Jim Pratt or Amy or whoever. And that doesn't have to be the select board, this board, another board, but I've been in on meetings where they said, if we get the road to where it's supposed to be,
Okay,
and maybe I need to come live here for a while.
It'll appear somewhere in the minutes, okay.
I've got a question. A76 standards, how deep is the sub-base material supposed to be?
I don't have my little engineer in my back pocket right now, so.
Okay, that's.
What I'm telling you is,
that-
the road
I'm
is-
talking right now, I asked you the question, and you said you don't have the information. So how can you tell me you meet A76 standards when you only have 6.5 inches of base material here?
because the town of Swanton waited 13 years to take over the road that was done correctly at the beginning of the day. And any road in any town is gonna settle after 13 years.
It's not a
Sir,
question of settlement, it's a question of the amount of material that was placed.
The amount of
If the
material
material
was
is
the same as
placed
the
and
first.
properly compacted, it's not gonna shrink in the depth.
Do you think my husband is unreputable
I'm
enough
not
to cheat
questioning
on the road?
I'm not questioning his reputation. When people let contractors do their work and they don't have testing and inspections done then, things don't always get done to the level they're supposed to, and that is common everywhere. And again, it
We-
doesn't meet the standard. You don't have the A76 depth to talk about. I guarantee it's more than 6.5 inches. It doesn't meet the standard.
Joel, can I call you Joel?
Yeah, absolutely.
My husband has been a contractor, a businessman his entire life. You can't find between Autotown USA on St. Albans, anywheres. Rockledge Estates on Kellogg Road. Gazebo Woods in Highgate. Okay? He's built over 30 homes since I've been married to him. Okay? A lot I've lived in. He's never failed on 6 inches of anything, whether it be dirt or anything. And I can guarantee you, I blame Town of Swanton for waiting 13 years because any road settles, sir. Any road will settle a little bit. What do you have to lose to pave this road another 2/3 of a mile up the road so these people behind me are happy? They're not angry with Edward Heeman tonight. They're angry with the Town of Swanton because you guys are waylaying, and half of the development gets their road plowed. And the second half pays the exact same amount of taxes, which there's a lot of tax revenue coming out of Maple Grove Estates because my husband created it for you. Why is it fair? Why are we having this argument with my husband? Has radiation in the morning, he has treatments for 5 days straight in a row. He's
Okay,
here to protect his interest.
The
And I
the
get it.
medical issue is not for us to discuss tonight.
No, but why can't you just plow the road up to the end? We'll pave it. These people are happy. You're not gonna deal with it for 25 years, and who else cares?
Anybody have any comments or questions?
I mean, seriously.
Well,
In a minute. I'm gonna let the board members.
I guess I'd like to see the engineer either verify or not verify it's the A76 standard.
He already did it. You've
I
got
don't
the
see it,
paperwork.
on the
Okay?
information that's here presented, I don't see it.
Okay, it's right here. right here.
Because I don't know exactly what A76 standards call for.
And it was done through the state of Vermont, through local, state, everything. Hand that right to that Mr. Flinier, so he can read it. And it was done when the road was completed, and you guys waited 13 years to take this road over. And I don't understand why we're sitting here now. My husband should be on a beach in the Caribbean somewhere. He deserves it. Maple Grove Estates is the most aesthetic development anywheres around Swanton. If you can find one better than that, you let me know.
Okay, just for the public record, this letter is dated February 13, 2013.
Exactly, that's
Okay.
when it was put to A76 standards.
Well, it does say, from our inspection, it appears as though the construction of the road and the completed drainage was installed in the general conformance with the approved design plans. The roadway also appears to be constructed to meet or exceed the acceptable local and state standards, Vermont Agency of Transportation A76. That was on 2013.
Yeah, can I comment on that?
Yep, go ahead. I just wanted
Right.
to see, because she had said it, and I'm sure she had a reason for saying it, but I didn't see it with the information you had. Now you do have that, okay.
Yeah, I've seen this letter. What it does not do is show us any data that it meets the requirement. It appeared, our inspection, so they did a visual inspection. They didn't do any core test. As though the construction of the road and completed draining was installed in general conformance. Doesn't say
And
it
they
wasn't.
did do core
I'm
tests.
talking. You have the core test? Do you have the core
Can I
test?
speak?
Yes.
We had it, okay, sir? My husband has,
Don't worry about that.
we don't have a lot of paperwork because my husband has dementia and threw a lot out, okay? But I've spoken with these people. And we did the job, and I was there when they did the core testing. Is that good enough for you?
Do you have the core test? The answer is no. We have core tests now that have been done, and it does not meet the requirement.
Because you waited 13 years
That
to
has
take
nothing to do
yes,
with it.
That's road
That's your
seven.
opinion, that's my opinion. Get your engineer in Missouri to tell me that the reason those numbers vary as much as they do is because of the road settlement and the 13 years of waiting. That is not the case. This just talks about in general, does not show anything of any detail that it meets the requirement. It's like buying a car saying it appears to run good, and you get the car and you find out later it doesn't.
Easy, Joel, easy.
Yeah.
No, Ed, that's not why I said that.
Well, and I don't think any of this is a joke.
I'm not making any of it a
Yes,
joke.
you
I'm
are.
just reading exactly what that letter says.
Can I bring up one other issue I have with you
Yes.
personally?
Yeah.
And you're on this board and I'm biased by you. Do you know why I'm biased by you?
No.
Because when I sat there with David Tudhope, who did all our engineering work as well, and I was at my development, at my cul-de-sac, with Peter Mazurk and David Tudhope, Alan Norris, who's behind me, and Rick Wood was there too. And you were there with your man from the town. You came in, marching in, and I tried to explain to you that I was there to represent my husband, who has dementia. You treated me like a common woman. You belittled me, which I brought it to the attention of many people here at this Swanton office. I think you should be removed from this board because you treated me like a common woman. You told me if I dared to speak again, you were gonna get in your truck and you were gonna leave because nothing I had to say meant anything to you, that you only wanted to hear from my engineer and David Tudhope because nothing I had to say meant anything to you because it wasn't pertinent.
No, that is not true.
That is exactly
I'm
what you
gonna speak
said,
now to those allegations.
okay?
You
Well,
came
Alan's here.
on to me as strong as you are tonight, with
No, I
your
didn't.
case, and I explained to
No,
you,
I
I
never
was
came
up
on
here
this
to,
wrong.
that's your opinion. And I said I drove up there to try to make this thing work. When I talked with Dave Tuttle, when I talked with Peter and explained what we needed, they understood that. I was not trying to belittle you. What I told you is up there trying to get the answers that we needed and make this work. And if you weren't gonna change your attitude, I was gonna leave. That's exactly what I said.
No.
Yes, it
You're trying to
is.
change your tune because you're on camera
No, I'm
tonight.
not trying to change my tune at all.
Because you have attitude.
This type of discussion is not helpful for the board to make a decision. I know
No.
some personal
I'm
issues
gonna
with
get my
here,
husband
but,
in because he's
you know, because we have a lot of residents up there, and we definitely heard from them before,
And they all want to speak tonight too. So I won't take up any more of your time tonight. No, we're gonna go home, honey, because you don't like anybody treating me like a common woman. Let's go. Let's go. They decide to not take your road, then
Yeah,
let them
I'll
tell
get
you
you
to
just a
your
minute. He had
face.
his hand up first, then we'll get to you. And what I want to explain in just a minute, we'll take some public comment. This is not a public hearing regarding that road. We're speaking with the owners of the road and so on, and I know there's a lot of interest of the residents regarding the taking over and the plowing. But we're not gonna go hours and hours round and around on the information, and at some point, I think the board members should say it's time to take a vote of exactly what we wanna do or not do.
We have an earlier.
Just a minute, this gentleman's gonna speak first. You want, Al? Okay.
Okay,
Huh?
so I'm here to speak on behalf of everybody that's here, the residents. And I think I can answer a lot of your concerns and questions if you just allow us to, okay? There's a lot of information that we have that we've worked on. So we would just like to still present you with that petition to take that road over, and we want to explain why. We want to at least have the opportunity to explain why. We should at least have that opportunity. Should only take about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, just a minute, Al. Board members, the owner of the road, I feel is the one we should be dealing with right now. I don't know, just a minute, I'm talking to the board. I'm gonna give you another minute to speak, Al. But I want the board members to decide how far we want this to go tonight.
well, at some point in time, we're gonna have to make a final decision, you know, right now, I don't have enough information to make a decision, to be honest with you.
I do.
You know, because the 876 standards and all that, and the only other thing, is, there is a homeowners association for Maple Grove, right?
No.
So who's responsible for the stormwater permits?
We are.
You are.
We're in the process of starting an HOA. These
Yeah.
people are hoping that you'll do the right thing and plow their road for them.
But it's
Right.
not just about plowing the road, it's
Yeah.
about maintaining it as well, and stormwater permits have a lot to do with it. And that becomes the responsibility of the whole community when roads get taken over by the town.
Can I show you a picture from tonight on our road? Okay, talk about the town of Swanton and how well their roads are maintained up there. I have to turn my phone on, but I took a picture before the meeting, coming up our road. The only maintenance you guys have on that road is cut down the grass to keep that development looking aesthetically beautiful as it is all the way through.
And I
And
understand
the
that.
grass is this high. I took a picture of it, both sides of the road. I've called Swanton with the Public Works many times. Can you kind of please come up and make the development look beautiful again? You know, in the wintertime, you guys may plow that 5 times. Never see you put salt on it. Never. It's always dirt, all the way through. You know, you guys want to pretend to be the greatest town in the world. Our development is beautiful up there. It's my husband's development. He's proud of it. He's worked his entire life. 2/3 of a mile, people.
In the past, I just want to clarify, we don't salt many roads at all in Swanton. 90% of them receive sand, which has salt mixed in the sand. So we're not doing something different up there than anywhere else.
Does that look like an aesthetic, beautiful development like you'd see in Burlington or anywhere? The grass is this high. And you can ask anyone, and everybody raise their hand if they're upset about how tall the grass is and Swanton's not taking care of it. Can anybody raise their hand in the room? Do they do much for you up there, other than just plow it and they do a pass 5 times a year? Raise your hand. I know, I'm not getting anywhere with this.
For the other thing regarding roadside mowing, we don't mow down to 3 inches to make it look like manicured lawns
No,
anywhere.
No, but when it's this high like it is today,
I'll get that mowed. This is the
Great.
first time it's come to my attention. You
Okay.
talk about just a minute. You
Yeah,
talk about comparing it to developments in Burlington. We don't mow to 3 inches to manicure lawns.
no, but
We-
this
we
high
will-
is a
we-
little bit.
I just said we will take care of it. Right now, we are working on another road. When I get the mowers back out, I will talk with the road foreman and make sure we mow that down.
Okay, I wanna get back to the stormwater issue. You realize that the town policy for road takeover includes verbiage and requirements for the stormwater permits. And basically, the homeowner association would be the primary responsibility. The town would be essentially a co-permittee, is what we're proposing right now, which seems to be something that we can do and is agreeable with the state, which means the homeowners association would bear the cost of renewing the permits, not the town itself. That would, something that has to be done too as part of the road takeover, which wasn't quite the same way back, but don't blame us. We didn't create the stormwater permit law, but we are obligated to follow it. And this is what a lot of other communities, maybe you heard of stormwater districts, to be taxed, to maintain that. So this is something we gotta deal with that has to be part of this road takeover too, besides the A76 standards. They go basically hand in hand.
Sir?
Just one quick question, Tom Para. Do you have core samples done on all your other roads to compare to? Did you have core samples on any other roads you've taken over?
We had made it as part of our policy. We didn't have a road takeover policy.
But, so the road takeover policy was put into place after we petitioned you first vote.
But that has nothing to do with the quality of the road. You're saying it was built to A76 standards. It isn't.
Are any of your other roads built by 76 standards that are currently part of the town? County Road, Middle Road,
yeah.
Comstock, you know what those were? You know what those road bases are?
Yeah,
They're
I do.
gravel. I lived on Bushy Road. I saw them when they took the road tiller and ground it all up. There was just dirt and gravel. You know what's underneath our development? I contracted my own house, dug my own foundation. You know what I found? 10 feet of gravel. That's what's below your stone. Your 6 inches of stone. It's pure gravel. Do you know what happens to the water? I have a horseshoe driveway that comes into one ditch and it doesn't make it to my other culvert because it disappears in the ground. That's where the drainage is up there. This isn't clay, this isn't sand. I just want to bring that to the board's point.
Okay, then
That's
I
all.
will, have you guys seen the report from the engineer?
I
Al, hang on. I'm talking with this gentleman
I
right
have
now.
not seen the report.
So, in front of the camera, we're saying 15 feet of gravel. His report says fine sandy loam. One area has ledge, but a lot of it is fine sandy loam under there. It doesn't say gravel. One of them, one of the 6 tests says it is gravelly from the 19 to 24 inch depth area. So, again, I'm just showing you what is part of a core sample coming from the engineer. As far as the issue of how these roads were built years ago, roads were built 60, 70, 80 years ago. Yeah, they weren't built to the standards of today. That doesn't mean when a developer comes in and wants to make a development that there isn't requirements made on how a road should be done. And that's exactly what was done, was it should be done to A76 standards, which requires a certain level of base material. And we don't have that amount of base material. If the property owner would come to us and show us that it meets A76 standards, that would be a different story. Because then we'd have a discussion whether our town requirement is a little bit more because we think that's what it should be, and the Development Review Board at the time used A76 standards. We could have that discussion. But we don't have that information. And Al, if you can show me A70, A70,
No, I'd just love to present.
no, can you show me the A76 standards?
What is the A78? What are you asking me?
Can you show me that the road base material meets the A76 standards?
I need to present.
No, I'm
No,
asking,
because you're not allowing me to tell you why it doesn't meet them.
if it doesn't, okay.
You're
so
not
if it-
allowing me.
Give me just a minute. If
Okay.
it doesn't meet the A76 standards, it is time for me, or it's
There
time for us.
there are reasons
It's
for
time-
it. You're not allowing me to even tell you the
If it,
reasons.
what I'm trying to say is if it doesn't meet the standards, A76, whether someone, we're not interested in taking it over.
Do you understand the drilling rig that was used? I can go.
I'm
on
not
this.
questioning.
Do you understand the drilling rig?
Listen,
that was
I'm
used?
not gonna
It
question,
was a
I
percussion
am
drilling
not
machine.
gonna
It
question
hammers.
the report.
It hammers down.
Al, I am not gonna question the report from Peter Mazurik. Whether you agree with the type of equipment used, it was not. This is a report from a professional engineer on the cores taken in the area.
Civil engineer, not geo. Civil.
That's fine.
No, well, no, I want to talk about that.
No, we're not,
No, see-
folks, do we
You're
want
not
to get into
allowing
that
me.
level of discussion here?
You're not allowed. You're not allowed.
Well,
You're not allowed.
I'm not gonna
us to
I'm
present.
not gonna
It's
talk
not an
about whether
argument.
he's a geo or a civil
So you
engineer.
don't want to listen to what we have to say. right?
No, that's not
No,
true.
you don't
It's
want
not
to listen to what
completely
we have
true.
to say.
But I think at this point in time, this is degenerated into something that's not gonna be very productive, but I think there's a solution to this. If this engineer issue isn't comfortable with both sides, get another engineer and get it redone.
The redoing may never even.
And if you've got an
You're not
explanation,
allowed.
that engineer can put together what he feels that road, why this road is, why it is and why it's
Folks, you waited.
fine
you
to
waited
take over.
You waited 13 years, can I
If
explain?
you got an engineer,
You
and
waited
check- if
13
you can get an
years.
engineer to put that in writing, I will take it under consideration.
One
But
of
right
them
now, I
already-
don't see
one of them
anything like
already-
that.
One of them already put it in writing.
Well,
Did they not?
sort of, not completely.
You're parsing the words. You're parsing the words
I
of your
know.
parent.
I read the thing,
What do you do with the other roads that you take over?
the same thing we're doing right now, but the town is not
Do you
taking
do core- do you
over
do
any
core-
roads in a
do you
number of
do
years.
core samples? Can I ask that? Do you do core samples?
They should have been done. I have never
Well,
personally
do you have
taken
do
over
you
a
have
road.
core sample that you can provide to me that was done on any road?
That,
you took
they'd have to go back and look through the records.
over? There isn't any records. I asked everybody in here, both Brian and the town clerk. There's no record. There's actually no record of the certifications. And what you really do, is what I was told, is you take at par the engineering certification or acceptance of them making a statement that the road is up to a town 3 standard. That's what you do. And you don't parse words and you don't question it.
Well, I go back to what I said. I don't really see what you presented here tonight.
You didn't allow me
That's
to.
completely
You did not
consent.
allow me. You didn't allow me.
Well,
He's not the.
we're at the
property owner.
point right now, can you give us copies of that so we can look at it? So we can make a decision?
Absolutely.
I mean, this discussion's going nowhere.
I can absolutely give you copies, but
You know.
you won't allow me to present what I have.
He is not the
10
property
minutes.
owner, he is not the road owner. And I think it's time to stop the
We
discussion.
are-
I understand that,
we are-
Joel,
we
but
are
I
the-
think
we
we
are the
need to
residents.
listen. They will
We are
be
the
eventually
residents.
responsible for it.
They may never take that road over from the property owner, from the developer.
Well,
We don't know that.
We are,
We have been going now for almost an hour.
yeah,
And we're not getting anywhere.
not getting anywhere, and
we
I
have been
certainly need
affected
more
by this.
information
We have
before
been
I can make
affected
a
by
decision.
this. In several ways, even by you folks, we've been affected by this. You're the ones that told us that there's a 5% discount given on a road that's private. You've taxed us for the last how many years and didn't give us the 5% discount because you expected to take the road over. And you told us that.
I did?
Yeah, yes, you did.
I did personally?
It's personally right in the last meeting in June of '24. You did. You told us that.
But we did expect to take it over and we got the results, and we got the results that it doesn't meet the standard.
But you're not allowing me to explain.
No, I'm not gonna allow you to explain.
Are you not interested in the information? Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
I'm interested in information coming from the people that own the road right now.
They're in a bind. You delayed the road for 13 years.
Yeah, you guys keep saying that.
I-
That doesn't
Do you want me
change.
to give you the quote of the last chair foreman in the
No.
meeting?
No,
Back
I
in
don't.
2012, do you want me to give it to
No,
you?
I don't.
See, you don't want to hear it.
No, I don't. I've heard enough tonight. It's not gonna change the way the road was built. Sir, you wanted to talk?
You wanna go? I just want to talk.
Well,
Can you
just to
say
be-
your name, please?
James Foster. Just to be clear, so I understand what I'm hearing from everybody, is that there are requirements that have come about at some point in the last few years for how a road such as this development road should be built, and you're referring to the cores taken there to make an analysis of whether or not it meets it, right? That's one thing that's happening.
Yes, and to answer that question, the requirement was made at the time the development was approved, not something new from when that road was constructed. The requirement for the cores is our way of determining that it was built properly.
So, getting back to this gentleman here's question from before, I'm sure not all the roads that you plow meet that requirement. And you haven't taken cores in all those roads. And there is, since it's been there for 13 years, and when was the approval made that you're talking about? Does it go back to 13 years?
The approval for that road to meet A76 standards would have been a requirement when they came in for the subdivision.
Yeah, so it would probably, A76, I think, believe came into play after zoning got enacted. So you're talking late 70s.
So your question regarding core, we're not gonna core our existing roads. We already know they don't meet the requirements
And I
we
already
like.
know you won't
So
either.
to read,
That's
so
not
to
a
read, so, yeah, okay.
That's not the question. What I'm trying to point out is, this seems a little isolated and a little bit pointed to this particular issue, just for, I understand you gotta the maintenance of that road, but it's not a very long road, and it's holding up as good as any road I've seen in Swanton. And it's just a little bit more plowing. So the scale of the decision that we're making here for the town of Swanton over this seems to be a little bit over the top for the benefit for the people that live on the road for a fairly minor, in my opinion, discrepancy with what's being done with the cores and what's reviewing. And especially in light of the fact that I could go around and point out roads that I know don't live up to this road, all over Swanton that are being maintained. So it's just that, I just want to bring that out and let you know that, I mean, it's hard for those of us that live on that road not to know that.
Okay, and we have another new development coming forward. They want us to take over the road, and we're gonna require the same thing. Core.
No, I appreciate that you guys have standards.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate that. It's not a question of questioning why you have standards. We all benefit and we want them.
What would stop the next person, the next road people want to take over from requesting the exception? You guys are requesting the exception, we got these standards. If we ignore them this time, then what prevents them the next time? Or the time after?
We'll have to jump over that log when you get to it.
You shouldn't be doing core samples.
And but it's not just about the road construction, it also has the stormwater permit issues that need to be talked about, and we haven't even been able to conversate about that, and that's a huge
That's a huge
ask not only
thing.
to you folks, but to all of the community.
Yeah.
I gotta wait and see if they want to hear me. My name is Todd Miner. My wife reside there, 26 Maple Grove Estates. I mean, those correct, you're mentioning, those are all gonna be conditions to this approval of the road, the storm water. That's all conditions, we could talk about that, that would have to be done before you took over. So that really isn't irrelevant right now, we're just trying to get the road taken over. Those things will be conditions it will have to meet before the road's taken over. So that's kind of not really even a question, because you're not gonna take it over till the stormwater drainage is all up to par. And the Hemans, the ones that are gonna have to do it, they've already said that they would, because they wanna get this road over. So it's not as much as the money, is getting this road taken over for the residents to live onto it. And also, I guess one more last thing before I probably get up and leave, because it's pretty much not going anywhere anyways in this meeting. You talk about core samples, because it's all revolving around core samples. The engineer was dead honest about his core samples, and that's why we're here today, and that's why we're, out at the point we're at. But how many other engineers that take core samples and they just write down what you want to see, because you don't verify any of their core samples? You have nobody that will physically be up there when they're taking the core samples to eye them, video them, whatever. So that is my point. The engineer was honest. That's why we're here. That's why we're getting denied. If it was an engineer that was getting paid by these people, he could have wrote down whatever you wanted to see on that paper, and we would not be here right now. I agree. Correct?
If you find an engineer
I'm
who's
just saying-
find an engineer who's providing false information,
I think
you
there's a lot of
provide
that.
that, it probably is.
Yeah.
But
and I
if you
think-
provide that to the right agency, they will no longer be able to sign.
And I understand that,
professional-
but we can all agree that it's done every day.
I'm not gonna say one way or another.
No.
Without proof, that's
But I
your
can tell you right
opinion.
now, we all live in a world where it's politics. And that's what I'm saying. He was an honest engineer, he wrote down what was there, and that's why we're getting crucified for it. The crooked engineer, we would be sitting here, you'd be just running it through the big green tape. Be done. That's the way I look at the whole thing with this core thing. Yes, it's a little light. Then it comes ethics, like you said. Everybody drives up there, you get a beautiful development, and I'm not going to waste any more time, because the point of view is, we're not really in court here, but I feel like I'm in court. I've been to zoning meetings before, I've been to court before, and I'm not here. You guys all made your decision up before we even walked in here. You all had your little powwow, I understand that, because I've been to zoning meetings before. And it was all made. And I do feel that you are got a little personal vendetta against Vicky, and I think you might have wanted to step down. That's my personal opinion, and I'm entitled to it, just by the way I saw you raise your voice and treat her in here. You shouldn't be raising your voice. Nobody should have to raise their voice. Nobody on the board, if you don't want us to raise our voice, you should not be raising your voice. That's pretty simple, pretty clear. We're gonna leave, because I've said my words.
Well, I appreciate your words. She jumped in while I was trying to talk, so I stopped.
It's all on the record now. It's all that matters.
Thank you.
You've done the same to everybody in this room,
Yep.
and we didn't yell back.
You wanna take the meeting over?
Well,
I
I don't think a final decision's been made by the board yet. We need more information. I think you guys need to, consider the issue we're in, and the liability that could possibly be the towns in the future, other town taxpayers. We have to consider them too, but, I haven't made no final decision. I don't think, most of the majority of the board has yet, without some final information. And, appreciate you guys coming here, but I think it is time to move on to the next issue. And, hopefully we get some more information. But if it's gotta be real quick.
And I'm still cheering. I was just
Okay,
being
all
kind
right.
of silly.
All
but
right.
For the record, we had no meeting previous to this tonight to discuss this. The gentleman just said we did. Not true at all.
That's not
You guys
true.
got in here like 2 minutes before. We had no previous meeting here, so I just want to make that clear for the camera. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Judy Ashton from McLaughlin, and I live in this section with all these other lovely people. We have all been working together to compile information to present to you. Alan has taken the lead, but many of us in this room have worked with him and compiled information that we think you should be hearing, even though it doesn't talk about the core standards, although Alan has stuff around that. I was also director for the health department for 20 years. And I've been to a lot of select board meetings and council meetings. I don't think I've ever been to one where somebody was so disrespectful to people in the audience. And it has become ashamed to be here in the town of Swanton.
Yep.
And listen to how you're treating citizens who pay your frickin' taxes.
Who do you think pays your taxes?
We pay our taxes,
Oh.
and I have never, Vicky was brought to tears. I'm almost brought to tears. I've never seen anything like this. And then you don't want to hear information because you have a time limitation? We seriously have worked together, and we all want what's best for our section of the road. And we don't see any difference between the first section and the second section, and the stormwater. We've said we want to work on it, but you're just focused on this one core sample, and we're not even I'm not gonna go on. I'm just saying, this is the most disrespectful board meeting I've ever been to in my 20 years of being in the health department. I'm now retired, and I've been to a lot of them, and I'm just really ashamed to be part of the town of Swanton.
Okay, for the record,
But-
I'm gonna apologize.
Doesn't matter, Vicky's gone.
Vic-
Vicky's gone, you
I'm
can
not-
apologize all you want.
I'm apologizing to the people who are still here. If there's any more meetings where we're talking about Maple Grove Estate, I will not be the chair. I will, yeah, that's what I'm just saying, I'm apologizing if that's the, and I'm sorry. I was trying to speak at the beginning and she jumped right in. And again, I made my I made my apology.
But it's not just you, everybody else is complicit. There's
I really want to get back to the point. I'd like to be able to read that gentleman's information. That's what I want to read it. And I want to see what he's got to say, and I'm hoping you're going to have some other kind of engineers that'll have an opinion, a clear opinion about it. And that's what we need to see, okay? Let's not carry this on. This is what we need
No,
to see.
I'm
Go
not saying
home and get it, and you leave,
One more
or
thing.
send us a copy.
In 2013,
I got everything on
Yep,
here.
send us a copy, okay?
2013, the biggest problem that happened is when Bud asked for you guys,
We don't,
not you guys, to take
he's
over.
got it all documented. Let us read it.
And you said, we don't wanna do it right now. It's the old
When it's compliant.
network, yeah, it was like, that's all that's in the minutes. Bud asked to take that second road over.
Well, let's see
Alright.
the information.
Sir, the last one, and then I'm gonna ask the board members if we're gonna stop discussing. Sir,
Keep it short. As I stated before, I used to live on Bushy Road. When I watched them repave the road, they took a huge rototilling machine, ground up the paving millings in the dirt, and paved over it. If Vicky was to have that road remedied to meet your standards, what do you think they would do? If you were to repave that road 20 years from now, what are you gonna do to our road? Are you just gonna take a big rototilling machine, which you did for Bushy Road, which you do for all your other roads when you repave them, and you rototill on the top surface? You don't grind it up, haul it away. They literally rototill the surface in. You don't check for depth. You literally just rototill what's there, pave over it. It was done in 2 days. If Bud and Vicky were to spend the money to remedy our road, so you would take it over, to put an 18-inch base, which cost a fortune, would be a complete egregious waste of money for them. To bring up the standards, would it change a thing? Would it change anything? Because in 20 years, how are you going to repave it? You do the exact same thing you did to Bushy Road. You don't give a crap what's under the base, you're just going to mill it up and pave over it. When you're expecting them to spend the money to bring it up to standards. 18 inches, you know how much that is? Have you ever seen how much that is on a road? No road in this town has that much, but you want ours to be for some reason. We're asking for you to grandfather us. This isn't Bud and Vicky's road. This is our road. At the end of the day, this is what's trying to have happen. We bought that place expecting, great, the bus will come to our door. Great, we'll have bus pickup. Well, my daughter's gonna be driving next year, so forget it. Don't even need it anymore. Thanks for nothing. We've paid thousands of dollars in taxes to you guys, and we've got nothing in return. Nothing. Nothing. Guess what? I pay for a portion of the fire truck, police cars, ambulances. They can drive up there just fine, but the town plow truck, nope, can't do that. I understand there's other portions, like you said, of the maintenance and stuff. What maintenance? You haven't done anything in the first section. Nothing. You put a little pieces of tar patch pavement that you got at the hardware store and some potholes at the end, which last for about 3 days after everyone drives it all out. Come on, guys. Come on. Seriously.
do I hear a motion to close discussion?
Could I just ask a question?
Yes, Steve, absolutely.
I'm kind of interested in your report. If it's that thick, can you make it this thick? Can you summarize it?
It's not that thick. I have a copy for all of you.
Okay, that's fine. I'd like to.
I have a copy of the petition that we were gonna present. I have a copy of all the AI research that was done. Answers a lot of your questions.
Okay.
And your points about the base being, even the machine that was used. So if somebody can tell you the machine that was used is not the machine that should have been used, but guess what? That machine is a percussion machine. It hammers down to get a sample. That thing can create all kinds of error. I even asked the AI research, how much error is there in that percussion tool in inches? It didn't even want to quantify it because it could be so much for all of the reasons. They don't use percussion machines for core samples. But that was used. You know why it was used? Because you requested a core sample to make your decision to get confidence on this board. Not something that's normally done from this board. Not something that's normally done, but you did request it. And you got somebody trying to do what they're gonna do, and they went and they hired somebody to do it, and they got the first person they could available to come up there. And that person used a percussion machine, not a core drilling machine. Core drilling machines are a lot more expensive, they don't disturb the sample, they go in straight, they don't get deflected. All of the things, it's all here, all of the reasons. And oh, by the way,
We need to see that.
yes, and all kinds of AI research about what happens when you let a road sit for 12 plus years and then do a core sample. You want to do a core sample, do the core sample when the road's put in. You want 18 inches or whatever it is, make sure that those people know that and have somebody up there to inspect it at that time, which is what that engineer did. He says it in his note. Does he not say that in his note? Read the last part of that letter he sent to Vicky. It says it in there.
Al, I'm done the discussion.
Okay, and we're parsing over the word.
I'm done the discussion. If the other board members got questions, fine. I think we're going around
That's what it is.
in circles.
That's all. Can I just do?
Absolutely, you can ask all the questions you
It doesn't
want.
even matter.
Yes, I do have a presentation. It was weeks, a couple weeks to put this together. This is not quick. We spent a lot of time doing this.
No, we
And we're
want
not
to see
even
that
allowed to
information.
present it.
I'd like to read it.
Yeah, me too.
Certainly.
We need to see it.
Look, I commend you all for being here. This is not an easy job. It's not great fanfare to be here and have to decide what to do with the town's money. And I get that, we all get that. But we pay a significant amount of tax, and to take care of that whole road, it's 1/4 of what we pay on the highway tax. 1/4. We give back 3/4 to the town for all the other roads that people may have one house on it and go for a mile. I don't
Aren't
know.
up to that standard probably.
Most likely
Are we
they
gonna
are.
continue, guys?
No, I think it's going on.
Someone gonna
over
make
too
a
long.
motion
Yeah,
to
I'll
stop
make a
this
motion that we
I'll
end the
second.
discussion, but we need their information, okay?
Motion's been made and seconded to end the discussion. Is there any further discussion?
What-
Is there any further discussion?
Yes, I have a question on the viewing.
We're not gonna ask that until we take care of this motion.
Oh, okay.
Any other discussion on the motions?
Please read it all.
I will.
All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? So moved.
Anybody else? And the only other thing I could add is, anybody that hasn't been up to the dock, go up, look at the road and make
Hey.
a decision for yourself.
Put your phone number on the top.
And this was that was a petition. This was just a line item. Chris, you don't really need that. You got the petition. I was gonna.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the opening bid received on the surplus dump truck.
Right here.
Actually, folks, why don't we, do the library?
Yeah.
Lance has been waiting here for quite a while.
Whatever you guys wanna do, it doesn't matter.
No, we don't need to
An
spend
hour
all
here or
that.
2 hours here doesn't.
And do you have anything for tonight?
Yeah,
That you
you're
wanted, Senator?
Not a thing.
You're getting paid, aren't you? Oh, both of you, yeah.
I'm not doing this. If it goes 4 more hours.
All right, the board's okay with it. We're gonna go to 6A.
Yep,
That's the firm
okay,
that did this certification.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So all the work has been completed, the building's been put back together. We had a blower door test done at the end. I think I have enough for everybody.
Thank you. Wow, look at the difference.
So just to give you a little summary, the original blower door test was at 0.84. A leaky building's considered 0.6, and then the standard energy code today is 0.3. So when all is said and done, the library came in at 0.52, which is between the energy code and a leaky building, for lack of a better term. But considering, I mean, did we do a lot of work? Yes, we did. But we only really dealt with the attic and we dealt with the windows. We didn't do anything in the basement, we didn't do anything on the first floor, we didn't do anything on the second floor. So lowering that infiltration by 42%, I think is really good.
Yeah, I get too.
Plus, we improved the thermal envelope. So I think you're gonna have a nice tight build, tight as we could make it with the work we did. And you shouldn't have any more icicles, and we took care of the entry as well. Vermont Gas is gonna give a rebate, and I was really kind of disappointed in the amount. You're gonna give a rebate of $4,800.
Better enough.
And what we did is I had Brian put all of your invoices towards the project together, and we sent them to Vermont Gas. And when he first told me, I remember, I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "We couldn't insulate the building if we didn't move the ductwork. So in order to insulate the building, we had to move ductwork. That's part of the cost of insulation. And you should be giving us something for that." And he said, "The way our incentives work, I can only do it based on insulation and what the blower door test results are. But normal buildings, you don't have to move ductwork."
Right.
Yeah.
And he just wouldn't budge. I was real, and I told him, I said, "I'm really disappointed," because there was a lot of effort done, and I know how your incentives do, but this was a unique situation. But about $4,800 is better than no dollars, so I mean, it is something.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be more. So
But the job ended up costing less than what we had budgeted.
That's
for.
right.
So,
it ended up costing less, and we did all the entry on First Street, right?
Right.
Yeah, on the First Street
Yeah.
side, which when we opened it up,
it was bad,
it was really bad.
Yeah.
So
because there were issues there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we found some other stuff that maybe sometime in the future you may want to attend to or anything like that, but I think you're gonna be pleased with what we have, and there should be some cost savings in the fuel, because you get a better thermal envelope, you got less leakage, so there should be some cost savings in that fuel.
Saving cooling too, shouldn't it?
And
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and cooling,
Yeah.
and cooling, so yes, there should be some savings there. So, but I think it turned out well. I went up, inspected it, the insulators did a great job, and who's the guy,
Patrick. yeah.
Patrick, you know, a lot of times we said, "Pat, we need this at the last minute," and he's going, "Oh my God, I got other stuff to do." And, I mean, he really came through, he
yeah.
really did, and he was always concerned, "Oh, someone's gonna say I didn't come to the plate," but he came to the plate. He worked really hard, and when we needed something, because some of the other contractors that are on there, he did step up to the plate, and you guys should hear that, so next time you see him, maybe just say, "We appreciate your diligence on this project," because he did, and there were times, you know, I gotta go somewhere else, but I'll get a couple guys here.
Yeah, just that whole entrance.
Yeah.
The level of effort they had to put in at the last minute
Yeah,
to
to
make
open
that
it
work.
up and all that, I totally agree, and he did some stuff up in the attic for the insulators, so he really, I mean, I just wanna give him kudos, because he really did step
We'll
up.
make sure to get that word to them.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank you for the interest in this whole thing from the beginning
That's
and
what I
what
do.
what it took to get to
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
stage.
Yep,
And it seems to have turned out to be
yeah,
very good and a big improvement to that building overall.
yep,
Your efforts are greatly appreciated. In fact, I'm gonna throw this out for the board. I mean, you mentioned there are a few things that we might need to wanna do in the future. we do have a capital reserve fund that we have, you know, maybe if we had a list of what you thought the future, you know, we might be able to work one of these things in here and there, you know, along the way.
Maybe we should put money towards the station.
Toward what?
Towards the station. It's getting tired.
The station?
The railroad station.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I think
well,
that's
it's
something
there.
that's on our agenda
Yeah,
tonight.
hey, it's
Yeah.
got some rotten stuff.
Yeah.
and you-
That's on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it, that's why I figured I'd bring it up, but
Yeah.
it needs a little TLC.
Yeah.
Because there's rot where you really don't want rot, and, you know, I always tell my clients, if you don't maintain your buildings,
Yeah.
they're gonna become renovation projects. And
Yeah.
you just, you
Yeah.
know.
The longer you wait, the more it costs.
Yeah.
And it's, and you know that, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's just, you know, even if, you know, you paint one side and then a couple years you paint another side, get paint on it, so, you know, you can stop the rot in there, but it just needs some. But, you know, one thing we noticed when we tore down the entry,
Yeah.
we were above the ceiling, there's a window on the original library that faces towards the interstate. It was just, it didn't look blocked up, didn't look insulated, but we didn't have time to
Yeah.
deal with it. So it's little things
Things
like
like
that,
that, yeah.
that, you know, maybe at some point we go through it when you're ready. I mean, I think let's let this settle,
Yeah.
see how it works, and then, you know, go from there.
Well, major improvement, major
Yeah,
improvement.
yeah, it should be good.
I'm sure you did a lot of stuff you didn't bill us for, too, so I appreciate that.
I was trying to be fair. I
Well,
mean,
I
there was
know,
a few things
I know.
here,
That
but
was nice.
I wanted to keep it where I said I think we would land. You know, I made a couple extra trips, but it is what it is. You know?
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
big
I
thank
just
you.
got one question. I was at a library trustees meeting and they were discussing a light fixture that fell down. And I remember you and Brian were gonna discuss whether or not you needed to actually replace that light
Oh,
fixture.
that's right. I forgot all about that. The one in the reading where the
Right,
books are
yeah.
up front.
Yep.
I forgot all about it.
I thought the amount of light was
Initially,
okay.
the amount of light for now is okay.
Yeah. And we were gonna look at that. If it was okay, we weren't gonna do anything. And if not,
For
we were
now,
gonna.
it's okay. Now, we were gonna look at it as we get into the fall, as it gets
Yeah.
darker.
It gets darker during the day while they're there, and let's see. Yes, Brian did mention it to me, and yeah, that's right, we decided, let's leave it, see how it works, if we have to replace it. And then in the fall, like Brian mentioned, when it's darker earlier, if it's too dark, then it's.
That makes sense. I just wanna, the library board was in the camp of, they just wanna replace it. But,
Well, nobody sits in there and reads, for
Right.
starts, in that room,
Yeah,
there's no
and we were
place to
kind of
read.
focused on spending money somewhere
Yeah.
else where, we needed
That
to
one
spend it.
fixture was $2,000 just
Yeah.
for the fixture.
Maybe they ought to write a check.
they could.
Yeah, I think again, there was another bank not
There
too
is
far.
another- yeah, right.
So I mean, the question really is it needed
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
Yeah.
wanted?
And if we find, you know, in the fall when it's darker, if they really find, maybe we can find something
Something
else that's a little
else.
less expensive.
A lamp.
Well, no, we wouldn't do that. You gotta
Yeah.
do something that's humble.
Something lower
But
head.
We'll see. I guess, yeah, we put it off because we had the summer, but,
That makes sense.
but I did
Yeah.
forget about it too.
Yeah, well,
So, okay.
that was gonna be part of the library issues we were gonna talk about anyway, so.
I figured I would just bring it up here.
No, it's good.
No,
No, it's good, it's good.
No, the only thing is, if we have this discussion and, you know, like we are, we should let the trustees know that that's, you know, what the select board, is going with, you know?
Yeah.
So that they ain't running around.
Yeah, you'll get that info back to them, right?
Yeah, I'll get that info.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we find it's too dark and they say, no, it's not working, we'll find, maybe we can find something that's less expensive. But the one that was in there to match it was not
Yeah.
inexpensive.
Yeah, it
And there
seems
were-
awful expensive, $2,000.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
did it first, so that was the electrician, but Patrick, when I mentioned, well, I'll run you about $2,000, and they seemed to know, I mean.
Well, maybe it is.
They were still also worried about some of the things happening to other ones, so they want those checked as well.
Other lights?
Other lights,
You
Yeah,
had,
make sure they're up there.
yeah, I haven't heard anything about
Yeah,
other
they're-
lights.
yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be.
Well, I thought the
Yeah, that would be-
electrician,
yeah,
I thought the
that would be
electrician
someone else.
checked them, I asked him to check them when he was there.
You did? Okay.
Well, I asked him to, so.
All right, anything else for Laz?
Thank you.
Thank
You're welcome.
you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you're welcome.
everything.
Okay, we're gonna jump back
You look
to,
nice in the messenger.
Sorry?
You look cute in the messenger.
See what happens when you volunteer, they put you in the messenger.
we're gonna jump back to, 4A. We did receive one bid on our surplus dump truck. Brian has it, you wanna open it? I don't.
I can read it.
Okay.
So this is all it is, Gilman Handyman Services, the bid for the international dump truck. You can keep the plowed wing, and my offer is $3,500. Thank you, James Gilman.
That's the only bid we have.
That's the one bid we have.
And he doesn't want the wing.
He doesn't
Plow
want the
wing.
plow wing.
But the body. The dump. You ever get a blue book price on them?
No, it's running about 12,000.
That's what, that's
You know,
what,
I don't know how accurate that is, but if you look at the offerings out there, 12, 15,000. Similarly equipped truck, weight, you know, and whatnot, with a different brand or different motor is
Yeah.
25 to 35.
I understand that, but is that what the prices that you're bringing, does that include plow and wing or no plow and wing?
It's just the truck.
Just the truck and the dump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that motor, as we know.
Yeah.
Is what shies everybody away from
Yeah.
even any interest in really taking it for a trade-in.
What's wrong with the motor?
The fairly new with the emissions,
Oh, okay.
and it's something that we put thousands in almost yearly with that truck. Down the road, you'd start all of a sudden losing power, and then you'd lose, you know, the truck for a little while you had to get the parts and
That,
get things repaired.
that engine, well, it was so bad that International stopped making it.
I wonder if they have a replacement for that.
I've heard anywhere from 30 to 50,000 to replace it.
Oh, I'm sure,
How many miles on that truck?
It was 70 something,
70,000. I mean, really low
like
mileage.
78 or
really.
79 like that, yeah.
His replacement seems like a lot to get into for
I don't know.
Well, we don't want to, we don't want to go that route, but
Yeah.
someone who, that's why no, there's very little interest in that vehicle.
Yeah,
Let's take our money and run,
well,
unless you wanna keep advertising it somewhere.
I don't know if someone else wants to investigate it, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it,
As I say, just, it's time to get his check.
well, I would counter offer him 5.
35 seems a little low.
Yeah,
Can't even buy a used.
I mean, if you're talking
Chevy.
in the 8 to 12,000 range,
Yeah.
5 isn't unreasonable with that amount of mileage.
someone want to make that as a motion?
I'll move that we counter his offer for 5 grand.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved.
I'll see him tomorrow.
That's right, you'll be here. Awarding the bid for new work.
Hold the keys out in front of you. Give me $5 grand and I'll put these in your hand.
Awarding a bid for new work truck cab and chassis.
Okay. Last meeting, we had opened bids, as you recall, and the apparent low bidder was for a 2026 F-250 style side pickup. And all the specs that we had looked for. Kevin and I, and that was E.J. Barrett, for $46,000. But there was just, Kevin and I went through, there was an additional list of options we could have added on. Kevin was good with not adding any of them on except for one, and I agree. And that's the wheel well liners, front wheel well liners. It used to be you bought the truck and then the inside of the wheel wells were covered up. Well, now that's an option. And that's $180.
Okay, so you're gonna add that to the,
We just add $180 to it,
to
so.
the price of the little bit.
It is a 2026, it'll take between 8 and 12 weeks. Possibly could be as little as 6 weeks, but, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, somewhere in there.
One question, do we test drive these things or have a mechanic inspect them at all?
It's a
Brand new.
brand new.
It's brand new,
Brand new.
this will be an ordered brand new.
Just be ordered brand new and, okay,
With a test drive, but, it's,
yeah.
we'll take possession of it, and one of us, even that size truck, I
Uh.
could drive up to the garage and say, here you are, Kevin.
Hey, Nick, you bring up a good point, after that international motor issue. Maybe we should.
Because, yeah, there's always a limit law.
In the world of vehicles these days, who knows what you're gonna get for emissions, but this says does not include document fee and state taxes.
Well, we're exempt
From the state taxes, so there might be a document fee, but we're talking 46,000 plus the 180.
The document
Plus the
fee is like
document
a
fee.
couple $100
Right.
Yeah,
So,
well,
do we
that's
go-
some registration, that includes your registration, but the registration is
It's
very
free.
reasonable, it's free, is it free?
We don't pay
Or-
for registration.
Should we go, do we say up to 47,000, let Brian handle the paperwork?
How's that gonna compare us with the other bid, though, the one that's
Oh.
closer?
What was the next lowest, was 48 or?
New car, we
Yeah.
said we weren't entertaining it because they
New car.
tried to sell us the body piece.
Yeah. Total sale price, and this is for a used, not used, but a 2025 was $47,033.
So it was 1,300 more to start with.
Oh, so that was new car, it was the other one that Andy tried to sell us
Handy's
the
was
box in the back was
70,000.
70,000.
Yeah.
We said we weren't entertaining that one.
No.
No,
We also can't lose sight of the fact that we're actually taxpayers.
right.
Right.
And all the family and the dwellings and everything else, so I think that rings well in my view.
Well, makes an easy decision because he's a little bitter.
Well, I realize that, but even if it had come a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah, a little bit close, yeah.
you know,
You
they're-
tip it, yeah.
they've been paying taxes for a long
Yeah,
time here.
yeah.
Yeah, the only car dealer in town, right?
What's that?
Only car dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New car dealer.
Someone wanna make a motion for
I'll move that
47,000?
we appropriate, what, you want $46,500, I think would be enough to cover, cause you don't know what
Well,
the
maybe
next is.
47.
Make it
Just in
47,000,
case,
up to 47,000.
I'll second.
and that I'd be authorized to sign.
And that the town administrator bring out, to sign all the necessary paperwork to complete the deal.
How much should we have in our reserve fund, you guys remember, for something like this?
In the
It
town.
was like 160 or something, I think it was like 160. Yeah. Motion's
Okay.
been made and seconded for 47,000
And
for the
that's, yeah.
new truck cab, and Brian would be the one to sign the paperwork.
Should we include in the motion that the money coming out of the truck fund?
That's where it'd be coming out of, yes.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
John would probably, just I've got it, that price is contingent upon us signing up on the Ford Fin, that's their fleet program. I'm having a battle with the computer trying to sign up, so John and I are gonna get together, either at his shop or my shop up here on the computer, and he says we'll both swear at it and probably get it to work, so. But, yeah, and this is a program, I know the village belongs to the town, Burlington, it's what Ford has for fleet sales. And I know it has some benefits to it. So.
Yeah, well, you're better off to talk to Sarah, really, if you want to do
Well,
computer stuff.
But it's just, but I'll be calling them first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Swanton Hill project update. Today, they removed the last of the material that was blasted. The blasting was completed about 10 days ago on a Friday. We awarded the bid for around 70,000. Kudos to Ledge Tech for being very fair to us, because the lower section was a fair amount of gravel underneath the road surface, and then you got up to the middle section and there was a lot of ledge right there. And then as you went east, there was a lot of fill material there, so instead of the 70,000 approximately for the contract, they sent us a bill for 45,000, so that was very good on their part to say, look, a lot of this we didn't have to blast, and we're gonna make
When
it
they
right.
were blasting in that ledge, Joel, did they hit any springs or anything?
No, there were a couple holes where they had a little water to bomb the hole, but overall it's dry. I got photos here. I mean, you took over 9 feet down in one area there, and our crew, a lot of work, and they had to go across Reynolds Road, dirt road, washboardy, and luckily we don't have any dental bills right now for all the banging around that happened. But tomorrow they're gonna get some of the crushed stone material in there and so on. And I wanted to ask you guys real quick, do you want me to get 2 or 3 bids to try to get that paved this fall? Or do we give one company that's trying to do work with us a chance to give us a number and see if it's close to what, like Pike we're giving tons of work to this year. Not only what they came in and bid, and then we got the grant, so we gave them almost another $180,000, $190,000 worth of work. Total to them is over $500,000 worth of paving.
Who's doing the work up there?
What's that?
Who's gonna do the work up there for paving?
Well, that's what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to, personally, I'd like to get a bid from Hungerford's. They've been trying for a couple of years to get in, and they just did the village, that section on Lake Road. If they came in very close to the tonnage,
They just did Linda Avenue.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work for the village. The village has always been happy.
What's that?
They did a nice job on Lake Street.
Yeah.
And Linda Avenue. Yeah.
My question, Joel, would be, is it, you know, because we're getting so late in the season for that base to settle in place, is that an issue, or?
I don't see that as a big issue because it's lead, a lot of it's lead right there.
What's he putting in for stone?
It's a graded aggregate. It's called dense graded aggregate from Borbo's. It's the same stuff we're using over on the LVRT.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good quality material.
Yeah.
They put that in there. They run their trucks up and down there several times. They're gonna pack that in pretty tight. I think would be okay. I can't guarantee we won't get a little settlement in that 360-foot section, but the good news is we'll be able to pave one end of the road all the way to the other end of the road and Reynolds Road, all with the money we have right now. In that we set aside for that. So I'd like to get that bid if you guys are okay with it.
Yeah.
And we took a look at it and said, you know what, it's.
Kevin feel the same way about paving it right off quick?
Oh yeah, I talked to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he's comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it, and I don't see why we just don't get it done. We saved the money on the blasting, we should have plenty of money to cover that and get it done.
And we're gonna have a little bit
Yeah.
left after that, so that's going well, I think.
Cause
Should we,
part of that never got
you're
set
saying
full.
makes sense, should we put a cap on it? Just not to exceed $70?
Well, I would get a bid and I'd come to the board,
Yeah.
next board meeting with a number,
Yeah.
and explain per ton what we're paying right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't, no way I would.
No, I just for
Right.
our discussion.
Yeah, we're talking somewhere between 80 and 100,000 for the paving, but I wanna get an actual bid and present that bid to you folks, if that works your way.
I agree, I think getting bids are fair.
Yep.
And then the other one, I meant to do this at the beginning of the year, but I really feel we should pay a significant portion, if not all, of the road foreman's phone bill. The guy gets calls all day while he's on the road. It's not just at his house. Like the other people working for the highway department, we only call them and we gotta bring them in. But Kevin is using that, has dropped it a few times, working around culverts and different things. It's not a huge dollar amount, but to me, the amount, the time he spends answering people's calls and everything, I think the board.
I'm surprised we don't pay for it.
We never have, and it's never been brought up, and we can easily find the money to pay his annual phone cost.
Maybe
for the amount.
upgrade it or something, if you have to. I mean, I didn't realize he was using his own money.
The road foremans for years have, and
Using
it's
his
time
own money,
to build that into the budget.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'd be willing to give him $100 a month towards his phone costs.
I'd like to find out what it is.
Yeah.
I know it's less than that,
As
but
long,
I mean,
as
yeah.
long as the board is comfortable, I'll get some numbers and
And he
we'll take
also-
it out of the highway.
That's the phone number he has published on the website.
Yeah,
Contact
and-
an
and-
emergency.
all day long, he's getting calls on the road. I mean, I know he's got the landline at the garage, but you can't conduct a lot of business
And
when he's a working foreman.
And then when,
Not every day.
when he's on vacation,
They're not ever in the
actually,
office.
there's somebody will call that number, he answers, but then directs Patrick to take care of it. I mean, yeah.
I always
Okay.
assumed that was his town phone.
I sort of,
I was shocked when he told me, no, it was his phone.
All right, I'm bringing it up. If everybody's comfortable, I'll get numbers and
yeah,
bring it back to you.
absolutely.
All right, Old Town Business, LVRT, if you drive by there right now, you're gonna see the foundations are in. A lot of backfill has been done. We are having issues with the wood for the stuff that goes on the foundations and the wood for the fence, country of origin and issues like that. Hope to resolve that in the next few days. They have a 19 September date now for completion, not 1 August anymore. That was a conversation working with the state. We've got to work and try to get this thing done, but a lot of progress has been made in the last couple days.
Some of the delays probably aren't the contractor's fault.
I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna answer that.
In addition to your update, I just would like to hand out everybody to have some of this great literature that the Agency of Transportation is sharing about our portion from Cambridge to Swanton. We are still looking for trail ambassadors for that piece of trail. And if you are interested and use the trail and would like to be a trail ambassador, it is a small volunteer commitment, and you can please reach out to me at the rec department.
Joel, if I may, do we have a target completion date? Yeah.
Contract completion date went from 1 August to 19 September.
Okay, so we should be safe if we want to do a grand opening of it in October. Or do you want to?
I would not say that right now.
Okay, so we'll just.
Next meeting, I would hopefully
Okay,
be able to maybe say,
Okay, well, just if we want the governor and all that.
I understand, and I want nothing more than have a grand opening and,
Okay,
but
no, it's best to wait, so I agree. Put it on the radar.
yes.
Yep.
I will say they're very cooperative though, in trying to make this all work. Land swap update, that must be you.
Yeah, and there is really nothing new to report, haven't heard. I asked for an update from our attorney, and she said that she has not heard anything. She's attempting to contact the other attorneys. So, that's where we are.
Okay, welcome to Swanton Signs, page
Just-
5.
Just to follow up on that,
Yep.
right, make sure if you don't hear anything, you know, we close to our next meeting, ask again, so you
Oh,
get
yeah.
updated.
Well, if I don't get it by like Friday, and I ask again.
Okay, so this isn't in color on page 6.
It is underneath though, they should have it.
Yeah, we did.
This one,
There's 2 pieces.
oh, okay, there it is, all right, so there's separate handout right here.
We need a colored photocopier.
All right, 2026, let's put that in the budget, because it helps for certain things. So anyway, what I did is, I've been working with a sign company in Enosburg, they took the logo, they put it on the sign. We took out home of, because that was controversial when this went out for some public comment. So right now, it's got the town of Swanton emblem, it's got the village emblem, it's got MVU High School, but doesn't say, you know, home of.
Yeah.
And then it's got Missisquoi Abenakis on there. So if we're ready, it's time to tell them to get 4 of them. I know locations, we can have that discussion, but let's get the 4 ordered if everybody's good. What I want is $2,100 a piece. We agreed to and approved $10,000 total, so that's $8,400. And then if people don't mind, we have another item down below. It's, well, oh, here we go. The sign at the VFW, that 8 by 16 sign that the VFW originally was looking to put a mural of Swanton. And if you take a look at this sheet, here, talking with the folks at the VFW and the Promote Swanton kind of push, would like to possibly do this. It would be a light blue for the 8x16 area. In the middle would be the Swanton, Vermont, State of Vermont crest on the right, United States crest on the left. That would be with some paint and everything, we're talking maybe $1,100. It'll all be within the 10,000 we originally allocated. I don't know if people like that or not, putting that there, but I think it would help just call out. You're driving in, you see this welcome sign, and then as you drive up the hill by the bridge, that's what you would see.
It hits you right in the eyes. I mean, that sign is where it is where it should be.
And it's gonna help detract from what's behind it, is what the original intent. Working with the Swanton Enhancement Beautification Committee, next year there'll be some shrubs going up beside it, probably some flowers in front of it. But if people are comfortable, these are 3 separate, not trying to stick anything onto the plywood and have it come off. I talked to the sign guy and I said, what if you put it on aluminum sheets? And then we would just screw these to the sign. And that's what you would see when you come up the hill by the bridge.
Need a motion for that?
I think we've already approved 10,000 for the signs. If everybody's good with that, that's the way.
Well, that's, it's VFW owns the sign.
VFW, it's on VFW property. VFW, I've shown it to the leadership there. And
Who put the sign up?
Boy Scouts did it as a project. Yes.
I mean, the only other issue is that they're gonna probably have to find some other location, but there should be some kind of, village directory, you know, like a sign, you know, left or right up here, you know, for stores or.
I think we can talk about that more when we get to
Yeah.
Swan. I like the
But-
idea and I think it's welcoming to the village.
If everybody's good, we're gonna get 4 signs and we'll get this and then we'll figure out the location. All right. Update on Friends of Northern Lake Champlain meeting. Bridget had asked to meet with Brian and I. So Bridget Butler is one of the ones who came there. We met with her, very positive meeting. She's just a big advocate for trying to connect the dots between the state environmental folks, the state agricultural folks, and trying to do things to improve the lake. Did tell us that they've taken that project on Lasner Road off their books. They're not pursuing it. And if there are things that we want to ask them to do, if we want to do any type of public meeting about lake quality, she can help set that up and get folks from the environmental side of the state and so on. So I don't know, Brian, if you want to add anything, but it was a good meeting after the meeting we had regarding the project.
She recognized that obviously that there was some lack of communication going way back onto that beach project and the Lanier Road. And I went through every email, went through every file, went through everything, and there was no mention of the Lanier Road in any of it. There was this, it was the Swanton Village Beach Project, the beach project, and then they came in with this. I was like, what? So she understands that there was definitely a lack of communication, but they have had some changes in staff and whatnot, which something fell through the cracks. So that's.
Well, we appreciate the trying to help us. I mean, and trying to help the lake, and this didn't work. So let's keep moving forward.
Right.
Okay. Library issues. Have you got anything else, Nick?
Yeah, the other thing was the Historical Society room apparently suffered some damage.
There's one.
They just wanted a timeline when that might be.
Well, it's, all I could see in there was one ceiling tile needs to be replaced.
Okay.
So that we got to find a ceiling tile and we'll put it in. But I wanted to talk about the ongoing. What had happened was Thursday, the day before the 4th of July, so July 3rd, we had a monsoon hit the village. I mean, the rain was being blown sideways. There was, in the 30-plus years that the village sewer systems have been separated, there was actually in front of the library, I noticed on Grand Avenue, there was water going over almost to the top of the tires of the cars going. So the storm sewers couldn't handle it. Abby had called me and said there was some water that came in the basement, and then she said, well, I've located the problem. It blew under the front doors, so those wooden front doors, it blew under there and just settled on that marble floor and eventually seeped in. There's a little job like that, and it probably could try some weather stripping under the bottom of those doors, and then find somebody to do, put in if we can find just somebody with one
Tile.
right size tile, maybe we can just pop it in there. But then I'd like to kitty it up with the Railroad Museum building issues. Now, as Laz pointed out, I was Jay Barney and a couple of his student interns. I met with them on a very cold day back in March, and they showed me the rot and whatnot that's there, because we were busy with a lot of stuff. And so then I would like to just get, not a formal bid, but just to have maybe a couple of our local contractors just go down, give us a price, and see what they think needs to be done and what should be done.
Has Laz looked at it himself?
Apparently but I haven't had him do it, but.
Let's see what his recommendations
Okay,
are.
I can give him a call.
Yeah, I think it,
It'd be good.
Are you gonna focus just on that issue, Brian, or are you gonna have him take a look-see of the whole building?
Well, while he's there, the way I look at it is there's immediate need
Yep.
to stop the rot is there
Yep.
and repair that, and then then go, what should we be doing going forward? And yeah, maybe it needs to be painted now, maybe 1 or 2 sides a year and paint it. So yeah, I can get Laz, but then just go from there, and get a couple of contractors, give us an idea what the cost would be, and then.
Because I feel like we're at a point where that thing's gonna blow up on us here at some point.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, maybe we haven't been kept up to date as to what has been needed over the years, and then it's gonna hit us.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a $1,000 issue.
Right.
Yeah, we did replace the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shingles here,
Yeah.
22 time, or, no, 18, 19 time, yeah.
But it would be good for Laz to take a look at it and give us a plan and what needs to be taken care of first and what,
Yeah, if we need to pay him for a few hours, we
Yeah.
can figure out what they want.
a very good investment.
Last week, because all the village water meters are being changed out, and so I had an appointment actually it was this week. Tuesday.
Wednesday, it wasn't yesterday.
Whatever day, I guess it was last week. And, yesterday was the insurance guy.
Yes.
The contractor that the village has hired to do this, they had an appointment, I went down, met them there, and it's the first time ever I've been in the basement of that building. Basement's in good shape because it's relatively new compared to the rest of the building, and it shocked the guys that were installing it, because they said, well, it's an old building, it can take us, I was told by their office it'd take them 2 hours. And they said, this is new, the building's old, but this is new? I said, well, we moved and set on top of this. So they had it done in just a few minutes, so, yeah, I'll get Laz.
I just think it's something
Yeah.
for the future.
Oh, absolutely, so that's, I'll update you on that, and we'll get Laz down there and go from there.
Sounds good. On to community and economic development.
Yeah.
Report on downtown safety improvements on-site meeting.
Yeah. The village of Swanton has had a meeting in the park, started in the park at the bandstand last Thursday. 10 o'clock in the morning, and the local business people were welcome to come. Well, anybody could come, but there was the local businesses, a few of the residents here on Church Street, myself, and we gave a tour. They've got a grant to do some traffic and safety, pedestrian safety improvements in the downtown area. So we should probably wait on any signage.
Yeah, that would be,
I think some of the plan is pretty good. First of all, what they're going to be doing is looking at this at the end of Merchants Row, where the apartment building burned down quite a few years ago. The village owns that, and they're going to expand that into a parking lot, so they hope to fit maybe 20 to 25 cars. They also will expand, that property line goes behind the stores on Merchants Row, and they hope to expand that so they give some more suitable parking there. The crosswalks will get realigned. There will be bump outs, called bump outs, that come out so that the although Dean Ryan was there, he says, oh, that would be something to plow through. But it would make it more pedestrian friendly and less room for the person to cross the street in. Some of the crosswalks will get moved because they're very dangerous where they are. The thing that I guess it's engineered, VHB has done the engineering work on it, but there's going to be a three-way stop at the corner of First and Grand Avenue.
yeah.
And that's, I'm not sure how that will work, but we'll see.
In theory, you think it would work because it would let them trucks get out, because sometimes people just won't let them
Yeah,
turn
well,
out.
I said about the stop bar, and
Yeah.
I said, well, it'll be back about in about the middle of the library, and I said, I don't know if that's enough.
That would be an issue, yeah.
For an experienced 18-wheeler driver, yeah, but I've seen some who are not that experienced.
And them trailers are getting longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to come all the way across.
Yeah.
Whenever I see them, I stop,
Yep.
more by the post
Oh, yeah,
office to
that's
let
where
them.
I stop. And so that, we'll see how that works
Yeah.
out. So this will all start probably in 2026 and go into 2027. And then when that's done, at some point, because there's local matches involved, they would like to also do some work on Canada Street. But so that's, I think it'll dress up the downtown more.
Yeah.
And then we had a further discussion on certain businesses in town, and I walked by one, and it doesn't appear to be open. It was a new business that opened, but it doesn't appear to be open.
It was today.
Oh, it was today?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it open either, but.
I just have a question. Are they gonna do a temporary upgrade of the crosswalks? Because they're pretty much non-existent. I mean, just.
Oh, you're just painting them?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure what, if they're going to, but I can ask.
Yeah, and I just think it's-
They're planning to paint, but they're behind with
They're
everything
way
that's been
behind,
going
yeah.
on this year, cause they really try to make sure they're all in before school starts,
Right.
and we're not that far away from school
Got
starting.
about 3 weeks.
We all know first of all, the downtown Swanton looks really nice.
Oh, yeah.
The plants where the restaurant is and the bakery, and every place you go, it's just well done. There's some-
Yep.
And there's also a lot of people downtown now, which is great to see.
Right. Oh, yeah,
But you take your life in your own hands, because the
for
people
sure.
aren't gonna stop.
that's for sure.
So maybe if there was just some fresh paint on there, so when you paint down to them, as they get into the finger, they could try to slow down or whatever.
And one of the other things too, they're gonna build up the front of Merchants Row, so you'll have one less step, we hope. But
Yeah, that'd be
that's
great.
gonna be,
it'd be
I said, well, originally there were 3 steps in front. We put a pile of asphalt on there and built it up, but, so yeah, those are all, but I'll ask Bill. if
Yeah,
he-
just,
Cause I know they're doing a lot more sidewalks too this year.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
yeah, they're in grant for more sidewalks.
Anyway, the downtown is beautiful.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
really,
it
it
is,
really is.
yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's.
All right, promote Swanton update.
Swanton.
Alright, we got, this is what it's gonna kinda look like on that page. We'll kinda send down.
This is just a list of the businesses that have
Businesses, yeah.
shared for the
That'll be
business
on that
directory
new
so
page.
far.
So we probably get more to read, but.
And I've shared this now with the website developer, so they're gonna start really putting that together. And then as they trickle in, they'll be easier for you to put on because it will all be sorted. But the businesses that have shared their information with us, are really excited about being a part of this, and just by seeing this and how robust this list is already, gives me great hope that
Yeah,
what we're doing to help promote them is.
we still got a lot of work to do, you know, I visited some of the health providers, I'm gonna visit the churches, we're gonna get the churches involved. We still gotta catch the individual contractors like, Menards, they're from Swan, right?
Yeah, well, he lives on the front of the road in Highgate, but he's basically Swan. Yeah.
You should put him in, he does his business, does he have, does he do his business out of Highgate?
Well, he does it out of his cell phone, so I don't know where he actually.
That's what I wonder what- that's what I
He
wonder
owns a
what-
house on Route 7 that.
Oh, okay.
he's- Yeah.
Alright,
he-
yeah,
he-
alright,
Yeah.
no, we gotta get him the thing.
Okay.
I'll stop by as soon as I can and leave you what we need from him.
In addition to that, the youth intern
Yeah.
has continued to move on the brochure a little bit. There was actually a really nice piece on WCAX that they came in and talked about the internship program with MVSD. And so our brochure has already kind of made its debut to the state, in a sense, but here is just another draft of it. Please let me know if there's anything else you need to change. We are still waiting on just a clear map from regional planning, which I did ask for last week. We talked about what it would cost to print. I did a couple of different quotes or research on printing. To print 100 of them at Vistaprint, it's about $113 or $1.13. I can't even read my own handwriting. 250 of them would be 74 cents. There's other companies like Uprinting where we could get 1,000 of them printed for $250. So that's something.
Yeah, we should be able to get this done in time for the grand opening of the
Would you
trail.
want to start with a smaller amount in case you want to make changes?
Sure, absolutely.
I think the 250 is the way to go right
Yeah,
now, yeah.
So the cheapest I can find for 250 is 68 cents a piece
Yeah.
for printing, and that's on a nice glossy, very similar to this, but just at an 8.5 by 11.
You got the budget for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that line item.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that Earl keeps talking about is signage, but I have another term for it, is wayfinding, and it's not just in the downtown district, it's everywhere throughout town. I'm amazed all the time by how many people don't even know the rec centers there, people that don't know where Marble Mill Park is. So having, just thinking about what we as the town can do to not only support our partners in the village, but all the people that have come into our community to find those great assets that we have. And I did just kind of put together some samples of wayfinding. I only made one copy of this, what wayfinding looks like in other communities, if you wanted to take a look at that. And it's really just, different things for, different signs for different things.
We need pictures. Okay.
I know, you need pictures.
This really is a good discussion to have right now, because we should do something special for that trailhead, signage wise.
The Agency of Transportation is going to in their maintenance plan have some
I'd
signage
like
they're
to
gonna
see
put
what it
in.
looks like and where they plan on putting it and all that. We should have input into that.
It's all done.
Yeah, it's all part of, it was all
It's all part of their standard of what needs to be done. There is like the backside of the kiosk where we can put some information,
But we can also put stuff on the part of the Swanton Fit and Healthy path to direct people from the trail
Okay,
into
something like
Swanton.
that, yeah,
So it could
yeah.
be, downtown this
Yep,
way, or
yep,
parking
yep.
this way, or trail
As you-
shuttle this way.
As our path, or the Fit and Healthy Trail goes, say, stops at Grand Avenue, so you have direction
Yeah.
signs go that way.
Yeah, we'd have to
Shops
consider
and
some of those things
restaurants.
right there and then over to,
On
yeah.
the other side of the
Yep.
bridge, yeah.
But part of what we paid for with the logo design is they're going to send us a branding guide that will give us more information on what directional and wayfinding signs are going to look like, and we should get that by the end of this week. But just something to continue to think about. I think we should consider budgeting for additional signage coming off the highway. You know, of course, that'd be a talk with the village, but also coming off that trail and or coming in from West Swanton or New York, because that will help guide people to where, you know, not only our industrial parks are, but our downtown businesses, our parks, other assets that we have that could really use to promote our community.
Yeah, I could see having something right by the stores, you know,
Yeah.
and then something over by the restaurant, you know, so if
Yeah.
someone comes here just to eat, all of a sudden says, oh, there's a refuge, you know,
Yeah.
it's got trade, whatever, but, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do on signage, you know, and I think that's part of what we're gonna have to budget for in Swanton Promotion, if we put a Swanton Promotion, budget together next year.
Oh, we definitely should,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
2026.
And I just want to bring up something else before I forget is, we actually we had it on our website that you could sign in to get notices of what's going on, right? Well, that was never running, but it is running now.
He's running.
You know, and that's so, we're gonna have to get out, and I think it's a very important way of communicating today, unfortunately, because I'd rather go talk to people, but now it's through emails, and I know I go through them too, and just throw most of them away, but if I saw something from the town of Swanton there, of course I do, but, you know, I'd probably take a look at it, but they still got the option to just throw it away, so they can't say they haven't been getting notices, and it's just to get to get it set up. Once it's set up, it's just click the button and it's gone.
It's all part of when I post stuff on it, I click to send
Yeah.
it. And if anybody's signed up, they've been getting plenty of spam
Oh, I
ones,
love
because
it.
I've been sending lots of them.
Yeah.
And you and the village, I mean, I think it's great.
I mean,
It helps to
I
stay
can
up to
click
date.
to include the village ones, yeah.
I think we've been, you know, kind of behind the eight ball, not communicating with the community that way. But the thing wasn't even set up to run, but now it is.
Yeah, and that wasn't our fault, that was
Yeah.
EcoPixel's
Yeah.
fault on their end, and he fixed it, and we were doing it the next day.
Well,
And it's one avenue, but, yeah.
it's a
And there's
major
still-
one today.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people say that, you know, that's not how they get their information, but yeah,
Do you
a lot of
need
improvement.
a motion for the brochures, all right?
They've got the money.
They got the money?
Yeah, that's that line item that
Yep.
you
Okay.
originally got this, they got some balance in there. Okay, any other necessary business?
It's not on here, but 4th Street, has there been any update on that?
In regard to,
Are we waiting on the state to?
No,
No.
Betty was,
It's like-
is gonna get listed, or did she?
it's.
No, our property
No,
on
we're
4th
talking
Street.
that,
Oh, that one.
that one. No, we're still waiting for the state, or,
Too many Fourth Streets.
yeah, after they're sending the final report, the engineers still have to send the final report to the state, then they're gonna.
Well,
Can you take a note to follow up with the engineer
Yeah.
and see if they've done it or
Yeah.
not? Cause they did their testing quite a while ago, it's,
You know, I think, we should put some kind of notification there on the property, maybe a poster saying, you know, that's in the progress of getting cleaned up and we anticipate using it in 2026. Just because there are some people that are kind of whining, you know, you gotta go on that property, ain't nothing going on there.
Oh, people ask all the time. That's
I
why
mean,
I'm
it's just a
asking.
simple thing. Put a stake there with something on it, you know.
Well, let's wait till we find out how much longer we're gonna have to wait.
Because I'm sure they're gonna want tests for something else.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's probably a good idea.
Well, we'll just change the sign next year.
all right, correspondence, you got anything, Brian?
No.
Public comment,
Yes,
reprise?
Emily's iPhone wants to talk.
Oh, Emily.
Okay,
Yes, thank you. So my name is Emily Ledoux. I live on 87 South River Street. I had spoke to, I think, Brian, and I think my dad had spoken to a few of you guys. I'm just kind of asking the town if they would consider putting up guardrails around that corner. Our house kind of sits back. We're in the yellow trailer where Brian Hilliker used to live. I've been here for about 5 years now. We've had multiple people just drive straight across our yard, completely missing the corner. I just had an 8-year-old take out our mailbox 2 weeks ago. Multiple accidents. Just kind of asking if it's a consideration. I have kids. We can't play on the front lawn. And then we did put up some flashing poles. I believe it was I don't know if it was the village or the town, when the bridge was closed. And we were really thankful for that, but as you guys saw, multiple poles got hit, destroyed. I looked on Google Image on my house because I was trying to find pictures of accidents. And I think I sent it to Brian. You can see clearly just tire tracks across the yard. So yeah, that's why I came tonight.
What?
I do drive past that all the time, and I notice that it does not look safe.
No, it's
Someone,
a bad spot.
yeah, it's a bad spot.
Yes, Emily, sorry you had to wait so long tonight to speak, but your dad actually called me, and I've talked with the road foreman. We're gonna short-term get some delineators back up, but we are getting a price for guardrail. We'll see what that price comes in and where we are with a couple of the road projects, and also there's not too many companies that install guardrail, to see whether or not we can get it done before winter. It is a concern, a very valid concern right there, and we're gonna see what we can do. To put a lot of fill in there would take up almost half of your lawn, but I think guardrails is probably gonna be the best solution if we can run guardrails at least halfway or 3/4 of the way down your property line. So we'll be, if you could get your contact info to the town administrator, and he can get it to me, and we'll keep you updated. Does that sound all right?
Yes, that sounds amazing. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
One other quick question, when are we gonna get the quarterly financial report from the rec commission? I think it was due at the end of we should have had it for the period ending June 30, and now we're into August. I'd just like to know where that report is. I think we're supposed to get a quarterly report.
You are correct, and we've got the, they've been gathering information for the 2024 audit. So first week in September, we will get the highway, general, and the rec.
Okay,
And the lawnmower will be paid off by that date.
it hasn't been paid yet?
Not that I know
Why
of, but
not?
it will be.
Why not?
Yeah, with Steve, I don't have that answer.
That just makes my, I don't get upset over a lot of things. That upsets me. That was a direct order, pay it off. Somebody decided not to pay it off, and that is absolutely not right. They don't want, somebody did not take an order from the select board.
Okay, that's something that,
You can put it in the minutes, I don't care where you put it.
okay,
Okay?
yeah, I'm just letting you
No,
know.
no,
that-
I'm not blaming
right,
you.
no. So we're gonna do that the first week in September, the three budgets that are controlled by the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
In addition to public comment, real quick, the Missisquoi Valley School District has been working on their strategic plan. This is something that the kids have been working on, that are leaders at the rec department, so I wanted to share that with all of you. And then at the last Northwest Regional Planning Commission meeting, they have their draft plan out for 2026 to 2034. I only have my copy, but it is online. I do recommend everybody to review it and share their feedback with Nick or I, so that we can make sure that Swanton is well represented in that draft. And then during that meeting, there was a great presentation by the Vermont Futures Project, and so I brought just their one pager to share with you folks, because I thought it was very fascinating about how they're projecting growth in Vermont at whole, but there's also links to view their whole report, which is also another really great read.
Okay, under public comment, I just wanna put in a kudos for the Swanton Chamber and the Swan Pond project. There was a lot of volunteer hours involved. Several people, they're gonna make a plaque for several people, but I wanna specifically, and I told Herb at the, last night as he was grilling and donating his time and his company's time, the amount of time I saw TDI vehicles there and their workforce doing stuff gratis is pretty amazing. They really did a lot to bring that project to completion, and I think it's worth a shout out from the select board to them that very nice, and it's great to see that that thing is back operational. I know they got the back fence waiting on material, but, nice job by everybody involved in that.
I make a motion that we send TDI a letter thanking them for their efforts on behalf of the community.
They're there early in the morning. Yeah, they do
I'll
that.
second that.
Yeah. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to send TDI a letter. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved.
Another person that me and you talked about was Susan Washburn, with her work at the Swan Pond and all the hours that she's put in. So I would also support doing some sort of recognition for Susan, since she's been out there working her butt off.
What do you recommend?
I would recommend a letter. I think that would be a good thing.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Do a couple letters? All right, I
Yep.
think we already approved the others, so we just, yeah. Upcoming events,
Saturday, August 9th, 2025 will be the third annual Corn Fest at Swanton Rec, 3 p.m. to 7. There is a 5K starting at 2, as well as a cornhole tournament. Tuesday, April 19th, 2025 will be the regular select board meeting here at the town offices at 6 p.m. Thursday, August 28th, 2025 will be a DRB meeting at the town offices at 6 p.m.
There's also a Board of Civil Authority meeting next Wednesday at 10 a.m. And of course, all members of the select board are members of the Board of Civil Authority, so everyone can attend.
That's for
when's
tax
that?
abatement
So
and.
we are part of the board for,
Yeah.
Tax abatement
And
and grievance.
how
what's
come
the
we
date?
haven't seen no notice anywhere? I haven't seen anything.
On the website. It's on the website.
It's on the website.
That's posted.
What time is it? 10
I mean, I guess as a,
o'clock.
if we're a member, which I didn't even
Yeah,
realize that, I
I
would think I would get.
can
Yeah,
I'll email you
email.
all the agendas, once Nick got it, I'll email you all the agendas,
Yeah.
the agenda tomorrow.
Yeah, because I don't know what properties are getting abated.
But
It's on that agenda. right?
Well, it's people who are grieving,
the law is
paying
murky
their
when it comes, this
taxes.
is for tax abatement and appeals or grievance. And I was told by the Secretary of State years ago that select boards are supposed to be in favor of the listeners. So the question is, well, how can they sit on the Board of Appeals?
Yeah, I never heard that before.
This came right from Paul Gillis. He was former Secretary of State.
Could you do a little research
Yeah.
on what's the latest, cause
Yeah.
I really don't wanna go to another meeting, and if we're not really
Because
supposed to, I don't want to.
inquired when I first became a village trustee, and that's what I was told. It's village property, I had to stay off. So,
Okay, executive session we're not having unless someone has something new.
I'll
Motion
move
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn.
So I just had
Whoops.
one other quick thing. I wanna know who's responsible for not carrying out our orders to pay off that lawnmower. Somebody has decided not to do what we instructed them to do. I'd like to know who it is.
I think we need to ask the rec department that.
Okay, can I make the motion to adjourn?
Motion made to adjourn, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.